we shall have practitioners, and as well we shall have beneficiaries. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am not using this machine. This thing does not do justice to my voice. Now, this is the work. Yes. So, without taking more time, allow me invite the following speakers. And while they join the seat, DJ, please prepare for me 5 songs. But every time I invite one, and when they sit, you pause, I invite the second one. Today is a mental health day. However, our speakers, with all due respect, we are not requesting them to dance, but it is just a song to usher them to where they sit, so that you don't get bored, okay? Do you have CD regular? Get for me CD regular, and when you're ready, just do me a thumbs up. I invite the first speaker, then the rest you make your choice. Okay, I know I am asking for CD regular. That one, Karen. Let me invite. You can pause for now. I invite the person. So, ladies and gentlemen, just like you find African tea at every function of Africans, because when you don't bring milk to an African event, the rest is water. For me, I find it as hot water. I cannot take dry tea, black tea. I'm already black. You bring black tea. No. African tea does not miss on functions. We have very many government officials who are always busy. And we as well have those who claim to be busy. But we all know, we shall not mention names. But in the mental health field, we have people who are fully committed to support, to be around, to elevate, to acknowledge, to guide, and also contribute to the different policies. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you a lady that has put effort in the mental health field with all her might, and with the position she has impacted many. Let me introduce to you the Assistant Commissioner for Mental Health and Substance Abuse at Uganda's Ministry of Health, and that is none other than Dr. Hafsa Lukwata. You're welcome, Mama.
Brian Beats,
A hand clap, please. Thank you for honoring our invitation. You see, Mama Mental Health is always ready for us. Thank you for being with us today. You're welcome, Mama. Anywhere you feel comfortable, Mama. Okay. I appreciate, and I want to apologize. I forgot my position. I invited the Assistant Commissioner while seated. Mama Nsensebse, I am sorry. But you didn't see that. Please, camera people, erase when you are giving the final copy. So now, next on the agenda, we have, I remember Madame, they introduced her as one of the people who have worked with Game Connect and AFC from the start. And allow me invite Dr. Rita Larocque. She's a psychologist and public health specialist who currently serves as the Chief of Programs at AFC Foundation. You are welcome, Doctor. DJ Wakuecho Onywa Amazi. You can know how vibrant the panel is going to be. Yes. us. Sorry. So, Dr. Hafsa will be giving us more insights on the national level status of mental health among youth. And then Dr. Rita will be giving us more insights on sports as a tool for mental health. Our next speaker today is none other than Mr. William Blick. And on his introduction, I want to let you know he's the grandfather of the project, and he's working with us here today. You're welcome. He's an IOC member, and he'll be talking the role of sport, peaceful existence, and conflict resolution. Our next speaker will be Mr. Ambrose Otim, IOC Young Leader, Game Connect beneficiary, and the please, louder.
This is unusual.
You're welcome, sir. Please be comfortable. I remember when I was receiving an award as the youngest board member for Uganda Counseling Association in 2022. I don't know if you felt the same vibe, Mr. Otim. Did you feel the same vibe? Mr. Ambrose, did you feel it?
Yes.
Now, being up here, my dear youth, this place is not only for those who have gone beyond other, let me call them achievements. Also, you belong here, and Ambrose today is showing you that it is possible, and he's now global, and we congratulate you. And the last speaker I'm inviting, I have worked with her in different spaces in line with the education and mental health and counseling. We always sit together to argue with other stakeholders for the good of the mental health in the different schools and sectors of this country. And she's a very vocal person. You will see, very resourceful. Allow me invite Ms. Rebecca Namakula. She's the Senior Education Officer for Guidance and Counseling at the Ministry of Education and Sports. Please, a hand clap. You have the commissioners with you. Okay. Thank you very much. So why did I put a music interlude? For us to be able to remember that this is a youth event. So our speakers, we are going to have an interaction of an hour. But that 1 hour, we have 5 participants. But each one of them will have an opportunity to respond to their questions, but in a brief of not more than 5 minutes. Kindly let us take note, just in case we might have any queries that we might want to put out to them. You can note them down, and at an opportune time, we might have you receive responses, but just bear with us as they be able to interact with you today. Number 2, I know every after a meal, ladies and gentlemen, when the system starts to operate, please allow it to receive a bottle of water next to you so that we keep up with the discussion. So, ladies and gentlemen, as the topics introduced for our different panelists, I am going to have a round through, and we shall be moving as they are seated. Each one of them will be giving answers to some of these questions in the perspective for their jurisdiction. And we shall start with Mama Mental Health. You know, when it comes to the status of mental health among young people in Uganda, and we want to understand what is the state of the mental health of the young people in Uganda, and should we worry or we are in good hands?
And the answer is yes for both of them. It is yes, we should worry, and yes, we may be in good hands. But that said, however, I want to first of all thank Game Connect Consortium for putting up this discussion, but for also working the 5 years with young people and improving their quality of life. I think let's put our hands together for them. Those are few, okay, they are not loud enough, but it's, I don't know. Maybe that's how you feel. For me, I feel they've impacted young people, and I think they have done the good job. And those are the good hands I'm talking about that there could be in the country. Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, we have not had a study, a mental health study, to let us know the conditions, the different mental health conditions that we have across the country and even amongst the different age groups. But we are getting our information from small studies, and the most recent was from the HMIS, the Health Management Information System, when people come to our facilities with the conditions, you know, reporting illnesses and these different diseases that they suffer. So from the past, we've had studies, small studies that have shown that mental health conditions amongst young people range between 10 to 20%. And there are quite a number of them. It's not, when we talk about mental health disorders, it's not one thing as we talk about malaria or measles. It is a wide range of conditions. And well, there are quite a number of them. I'll go through them later, but yes, it used to be 10 to 20%. That's what we knew. But when we checked our HMIs lately, in the past 5 years, we've realized that the average was 22.9%, and that is what the status of the population report is showing us. It has shown that 22.9% of young people are having mental health problems. Down into the different proportions, but of course, depression and anxiety are very common among young people for obvious reasons. But there's a lot of that the alcohol and drug unit within Motabika is actually full, and it is full of young people, 24 years and below. So, of course, that worries us, those of us who are parents, and it is, well, that is the situation that we are living in. But there's also a lot of post-traumatic stress disorders. People have nightmares from the school environment, from home environment, from the society where they are living. There's quite a lot of violence happening in communities, very many bad things happening. So young people also suffer this post-traumatic stress disorder. And we have also known that abject poverty, those are some of the other causes. Abject poverty, many of the young people, we know that over 73% of the people are aged 30 years and below, and most of them are not working. And remember, most of them, in fact, some of you who may be here, you know that you had children during COVID. COVID was a year, I mean, the 2020 to 2022, I think, was a year for younger people to deliver. Everyone held a baby. I don't know whether they had a conference somewhere and said, let us produce. But one time I was asking some young people, they said, yeah, when they told us to leave school, we knew we were going to die. So we're like, let's produce a bit before we die. So there's quite a lot of young people who gave birth during that time. So most of them are having children, they're having responsibilities, and they are not working. And that is, that is causing a lot of stress for them. But then there's also the school-related stresses that we know the grades that we have to have, the timing that we have to wake up and go to school, and so many other things relating with others, and all the work that we need to, that is done at school is causing a lot of stress for the young people. And they've reported this as well. But most importantly, before I finish this part, is the poor parenting. There's quite a lot that is happening in homes. The parents have relegated their responsibilities, I don't know to who, but for most of the parents, they have broken families. We have single mothers moving around. We have, both parents are there, but they are not there. It's as good as not being there. They do not question whether people are sleeping, whether people are eating well, whether someone is actually feeling whatever. Like, we can't, many families are actually in that situation where everyone doesn't care about the other. The children themselves, but even the parents not caring about whatever the people within their homes. And of course the violence. There's quite a lot of violence in homes. There's the physical violence, but there's also the psychological violence. Well, there's that business of keeping you quiet. Someone, they give you, is it silent what? A silent treatment. That one. It hurts. And many people, especially I hear that men suffer a lot with that silence or whatever. But anyway, those are some of the things that are causing a lot of problems in our home, and I think there's reason for us to worry. That is not good. It is something that we need to worry about and actually wake up and do something about. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor, on that. And you've at least also preempted the most common mental health challenges faced by the youth. And there's something here that I will not say it's only for the youth. How many of us in the room would rather be poor than have money? By show of hands. How many of us are okay with zero balance? Now, poverty. Somebody, let me hear somebody say fire. Poverty. 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 But I assure you, if you do nothing and remain seated and sleeping, you and poverty shall be friends. And while we are looking at that, Doctor, we've also realized that the young people usually find challenges in seeking for support. And I would want to ask, would you want to attribute that to stigma? And in case it is, how best can they be supported to overcome these barriers to seeking support?
Thank you once again. Yes, our young people, there's having stigma, but there's also having no knowledge. Like, someone doesn't know what is even happening around them. When you ask them, how are you feeling, that they can't even tell you. They don't know what it means to, when they are very sad, when they are thinking so much, when they are worrying so much. You know, there's that illiteracy that is in there. But the stigma is also another of those things. And again, stigma is tied towards lack of knowledge. Many people fear the unknown. Many people look at the very extreme end of things. Like they look at someone, they look at those people who are throwing stones, who are running in towns and streets as the worst case scenario. And yet there are different forms of mental disorders, and there are even different severities. Like, there are those that are mild, moderate, and unless you do something, if you're still mild and you're not doing anything and you continue to have the triggers and so on, then of course you'll get into the severe form, and you may get on the streets. But most of it actually is stigma, and it is self-stigma. Because first of all, the reason why you're having this problem is because you're suffering. There's something going on which is not okay. And then when you're having that, and then on the other side you're saying, Ndimolaru, won't I be like the other guy on the street? Won't I go into the skips and start eating food from there? You know, then you start fearing. Or you even fear your colleagues to label you, because we have labeled people with mental disorders. We have labeled them, even in schools, even in homes and everywhere. We have discriminated against them. We cannot give them any jobs. We cannot even want to talk to them. We fear them that they're going to, I don't know whether to beat us or they're going to blow madness into us. I don't know. Those are some of the things that go around in people's minds, but it all rotates around lack of knowledge, around the mental illnesses, what it is, the signs and symptoms, and even where to go. And even the health workers, I think sometimes can blow the situation up where they will like label you or chase you away, like, you know, we don't treat mental illness here. Tetujanja babalalu, you know, and putting on that label. So that can be so disastrous and causing people to even hide further or keep quiet to whatever they are going through, or even worry so much about what they are going through and fearing to relate it with a mental illness, which any person with a brain can actually suffer. For as long as you have a brain, colleagues, those of you who are in here, for as long as you have a brain, be sure that you'll be affected by a mental disorder. It is 25%, a quarter of us will have a problem at one time in their lifetime. So it may be today, it may be tomorrow. Your colleague is having it today, but yours may come when you're even old. At least this person can be supported. But when you're old, many times everyone just, they give up on you and you just go home. So yes, stigma is a very important issue, but there are so many others that hinder young people from actually seeking care. Yes, the health workers may not be there to treat the young people because they don't understand them, but also the young people also fear to go in there. And maybe, I don't know whether you'll ask me that question later, but I think with mental illnesses or with mental health problems, any person can actually start off the management. And it starts with you understanding yourself, helping yourself to think through what is going on around yourself, but also helping yourself, even from nutrition, doing this physical activity. I'm glad most of the people in here are doing physical activity. That is part of your treatment for your mental illness. And so many other treatments as we shall hear. But it starts with you as an individual, and then of course it spreads out. You open up. Don't keep it to yourself. If you're feeling not very well, you open up. You tell another person. It's up to them if they laugh at you, and don't even feel hurt when they laugh at you. It's because they're ignorant. They do not know what you're going through, or they don't appreciate it. And please go for support. Most of our health workers are there. We have trained them now. At least they can be able to identify the depression and so on. But even yourselves, you can even know when someone is depressed. At least from the time we have, been in this situation, you know how to identify someone with a mental health problem. I can stop here for now.
Thank you very much, Doctor. And you see, the information she brings out is more of someone who is on ground to receive all this and understand where the youth come from. And there's a saying in English that a problem shared is a problem half solved. And most of the times when you keep quiet at something, you fail to receive support from there. And that takes me to a very interesting discussion. Many of us here support Arsenal, Man U, Chelsea, Liverpool. For me, in that league, I support Uganda Cranes. And I don't know whether it plays in the Premier League or Champions League. For the two, I don't know. However, when people are watching football, some people need to have Panadol next to them. Others need to have a jerrycan of water. And also now Arsenal, they are on pressure. They don't know whether the 5 matches remaining decide. However, as Dr. Larocque, I want us you to paint for us a picture. How, keeping the other factors constant, how is sport uniquely as something people can be able to rely on so that they can promote mental well-being?
Hey, good morning. And I'm excited to be here. It's a very beautiful panel. It's not every day that you have such a panel, so you should really take advantage of it.
Beautiful.
But so I think let's begin with what sport is, because sport is any physical exertion. So when you made us dance, we were basically exerting ourselves.
Okay.
And so every time you exert yourself, you're actually doing some kind of sport. So that means so exciting that you feel like it's a reward. If you notice, if you have to do a task, take a video for instance, by the time you finish this day, by the time Lydia finished her presentation, she was feeling a huge rush of dopamine because you've finished a task. Now, many of the sports that we do are very rewarding. If you do a dance, if you do a jump, if you're an athlete, you're going to have that reward, which means that you're going to increase that dosage. The third one is serotonin. Now, this is another type of hormone that you're going to get basically because of walking around in nature, engaging yourself with what's available in the air. If you do a sport outside of this room, and you take a walk, you take a movement, you're most likely going to absorb that amount of hormone. And the last one is a pain relief one, another hormone that we call endorphins. This one, so if you woke up with a backache, let's say, and you started stretching, and most likely you're going to warm up all your body parts, and so in the process, your muscle, your blood flow is very high. Exercise gives you that chance because you're doing a physical exertion. So as you physically exert, it means that your body is warm and you're ending up getting a huge rush of endorphins. Now, if you have 4 of those things in very good balance, you're going to be very, very well. This is exactly why sport is really the game changer.
Oh, okay.
In treating your mental health, in helping you to prevent from getting unwell. But it must be consistent. Like anything, if you have to go on a diet to lose weight, you need to be consistent. You can't just say, I will just jump around once a week. It just won't work. So you need to be able to be consistent, and they recommend at least 25 minutes, 5 days a week. It will give you the amount of those hormones that you need to keep you going.
Oh, beautiful. And I believe there are some of us who have gotten into the biology class and the art students. Please, this is not deep biology. When they hear dopamine, they hear, no. Please, this is basic mental health. However, in that, while you've explained to us the different hormones that come through, I would like us, the audience, to be able to understand what are some of those sports activities that they can be able to do that are most effective in reducing stress, anxiety, or even depression. And it would be best if now they can know a little bit of specifics. Yeah. In case I'm stressed, what do I do? Someone might be thinking, now I should go look for a football pitch and other 22 players and a ref. Yeah. Kindly please rectify.
Sure. So the ones that, so you can do sport alone or you can do it in a group. So different studies have been done. The ones that are most effective are the ones where biology class I just did with you. You know why? You have a better dosage when you are with other people. So when you do, if you're an athlete, so most likely if you just run on your own, you're going to have these hormones spiking up, but they won't be as great as if you're playing football in Arsenal, not in Man U. But if you're a football player in Arsenal, it's most likely going to be higher than when you are in, Of course, whatever group sport you do, a dance routine, on your own, you're going to improve, but not as much now. So that's one thing you need to know. The more collective you're the better. So we're already getting there. Although, of course, if you're competing in a positive way with your colleagues, it's going to be okay. But if you're competing so much that it's causing you so much strain, stress, and anxiety, you can't eat, you can't sleep because you want to win, then it's a negative kind of competition, so it will not work. Now, the good news, Freeman, any type of sport works. Football, dance, jump, swing, put your arm around,
dodge,
anything, as long as you move your body in multiple directions consistently will work. So don't have an excuse. These young people to work is enough exercise. So don't look for the one that is not available. Look for the thing that you like to do. For instance, I would never be found running around. Why am I running? Is somebody chasing me?
I know.
But I could walk, normal exercise, which helps me with the same. And I could a colleague that I'm conversing with.
Yes.
So anything works.
Anything, even gym.
even gym.
A young gentleman, gym is also something. Lately, I am seeing the youth so much involved into the gym and all that. So meaning it is also a plus. That
On top of it, you will look good. You have the physical.
the six packs.
Yeah, we shall look at you and like.
Doctor, okay, that gives a better understanding of things. So it is not all about having an equipment, but it's about being able to move your body to be able to do multiple things. And that takes me to Mr. William. I want us to look at a point from your perspective as a member of the International Olympic Committee. We want to look at how can sport and Olympic values be embedded in the intentional fostering of peaceful coexistence in the conflicting communities. Like, while Doctor has mentioned about sport being out of competition but for collaboration, in your own perspective, how can the two be able to coexist with the communities we work in?
Thank you very much. Rita, thank you for explaining sport. I think you've educated me as well on things I didn't know.
Beautiful.
But I think sport is a very unique tool that helps people to do a number of different things. You have the physical activity, which is good for you and enhances your well-being. And then you have the other side of it, which allows you to become more competitive, and you're able to compete and play and advance yourself. But the Olympic sports have certain values. And three of the most important values are respect, friendship, and excellence. So the friendship we have in sport, and I think you see after most games like rugby, even boxing, when you've been boxing and it's the end of the bout, you go and hug the opponent. And in rugby you shake the hands, and so on and so forth. In Taekwondo, where you're kicking, your aim is to kick someone and knock them out. You still give them a hug and shake their hand. So I think sport teaches us friendship. Even when we are wanting to eliminate, outcompete, outmaneuver, we are still friends. And also the respect element of it in sport is also important, because you shake someone's hand even when you've lost. And sport teaches us excellence, trying to be the best, trying to do things properly. So when we have our communities, and when I became an IOC member, I wanted to make a difference in Uganda and see how we can give back using sport as a platform, and not just at the elite side, but in a way that you can transform communities. So I looked at how we could be able to bring particular aspects of sport into Uganda and transform lives. And when we have conflicting communities, I think sport plays a very important role, because it's the young people in these communities who play sport, and the older people also watch sport. So if we learn from sport respect, friendship, you find that the people within the communities are more socially bound, because they play against each other. And for any form of conflict, you find that people are usually very agitated and can easily be triggered to act in a violent manner to enhance conflict. So I think the more sport we have in our communities, especially in the conflict areas or areas where people have been subjected to some form of conflict or they're displaced, I think sport helps to rehabilitate people, and I think it's a very important tool. If you look at what happened in South Africa in 1995, Nelson Mandela was released from prison. South Africa was a deeply divided community because of apartheid. And this is segregation and racism. But when Nelson Mandela was released, he decided to use rugby as a tool to unify South Africans. And at that time, South Africa was supporting, was hosting the Rugby World Cup. But in South Africa, rugby was a white person sport. So Nelson Mandela, who had just been released from prison, decided to support a white predominantly sport in South Africa and wear a jersey of a white captain, because there was Chester Williams, who was a black rugby player. He could have chosen to wear Chester Williams' shirt, but he wore Francois Pienaar's shirt, who was the captain of South Africa, and he was white. That act I don't even know what to call it, because it helped to unite South Africa. It brought black people and white people to go and watch rugby. And for the first time, black people were going into a stadium to watch rugby. And black people were sitting next to white people. And black people were happy that the South African flag was being raised, even when it was being raised by a white person. So sport is a very important tool that can be used to help conflicting communities come together. You can see in Uganda, there is nothing that unifies a country than when the Uganda Cranes win.
True.
Everyone is happy when Uganda Cranes win. Whether you're from the north, east, west, whether you're from DP, NRM, or whichever other party that is there, sport unites people. So I think sport can play a very unique role in conflicting areas. And what Game Connect has been able to do in the areas of operation is use sport as a platform. So they've been able to use education, they've been able to rehabilitate people with social cycle support and many other initiatives which I think they're going to talk about. But for me, sport is a very important tool that can be used to avert conflict, to rehabilitate broken communities. And I think that was one of the reasons I wanted to bring this particular project to Uganda, so people can appreciate sport more and see it as a tool, a rehabilitation tool. And sport is an enabler for SDGs, Sustainable Millennium Development Goals. So I think sport through Game Connect has been able to prove that it can change a community positively and can have a very big impact.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you very much for that submission. And it takes me, I have learned something, that it is about respect and friendship, most importantly. Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, I'm looking for a time where a Man U fan will put on an Arsenal jersey. And will be able to see Arsenal play with Man City, and Manchester is supporting Arsenal. Because there is that conflict existing between the two teams. I don't know if it is only with Uganda alone or it is with the whole wide world, but I've also had things of friendly matches, so that keeps people united. And I've seen something that with other countries, when they are playing football, at the end of the day the players have no conflicts, but the problem is with the watchers. Those watching the players, you find someone hating Ronaldo so much because he's a Messi fan, but Ronaldo takes coffee with Messi, but they don't. So my perspective on that, why am I bringing that example, Mr. William? I wanted an expound on a point of how, while communities are supporting these different games playing, and how is it keeping them out of the conflict of, I am not supporting you because you're not mine, but I'm supporting you because we need this sport together.
I think sport allows people to interact. And through this Game Connect project, people have been brought together. People who have experienced trauma, people who are coming from different parts of East Africa, but are found in a same settlement. And they also bring them with host communities. And I think for me, what this has been able to do is bring people together and give them hope. And I think the education programs that we've been running, the trainings, all these are tools which have been extended to people to help rehabilitate them. And I think for me, this project has been very instrumental in bringing a normal life, or a normal life as possible. I was speaking to the young Ambrose here, and he gave me something very inspirational, and I'm very happy that because of Game Connect, he's now going to go and impact other people's lives with his initiatives, which I'm sure he's going to tell us about. So I think it's the impact it's able to live in a community, so that a community can be able to coexist. And there are so many examples that have been given, and I'm sure will be given. But I think sport is an enabler for peace, and it's something that we hope the Ugandan government can be able to appreciate. I'm glad the commissioners are here from the different ministries. I think we should be able to fund more of these projects, especially where we are working with host communities, and also out of host communities, and go into other areas, because sport plays a very unique role with the economic hardships that we have. I think sport can also help communities, and these are the normal communities as well, to rehabilitate them, to give people a livelihood, because sport gives you an elite pathway and gives you employment and so on and so forth. So I hope that the government can be able to put more funding in this unique area that we have discovered using sport as a platform.
Okay, beautiful. Now, as before I leave you again, there are very many young youth, those online and those that are with us here, and most of them, you realize, they will give you an aspect of conflict in their areas of settlement. Most of those that may be in refugee camps, or even those that are not in refugee camps, they are Ugandans. But how I would want you to paint for them how should I bring it out? Something that can encourage them to be peace builders, but putting focus on uniting more in sport, and how they can bring it out on board. All I want is an encouragement to them, so that they can be able to see hope in it. I assure you, there are some people who are seated with us, they are watching, but they feel it's rocket science. Like how? So that encouragement from me.
I think for me, I would want to encourage people to do sport. First of all, it's good for your health. So I think the people from Ministry of Health would appreciate the non-communicable side of sport. I think it adds a lot of value to you. But for the young people who are here and wherever you're coming from, I think sport is something you should engage yourself in. One, you will make friends. You will be able to meet other people coming from different parts, and you can be able to share your side of your story. In other words, you can actually learn from them, and they can learn from you, your experiences and what you're doing, and so on and so forth. I've met people 20 years ago when I used to play rugby. But because of sport, we immediately become reacquainted friends, and we are able to do very many things. So sport will always bring you that friendship, and I think it's important for young people to treasure that. You learn to be respectful through sport to people. When you respect someone today, in 10 years' time, that person might be your boss. So I think sport teaches you that unique value of respect. And it's not all about winning. You have to win. You have to lose so many times before you win. At least in my lifetime, I have succeeded less than I have failed. In other words, I failed more than I have succeeded. So I think in sport, for you to be a winner, you have to accept defeat graciously. You go back and work on your mistakes, and you work even harder and you are consistent, and then you come back. So sport will teach you a unique trait or value of working hard and being consistent to be a winner in life. And I think when you're a sports person, you never give up. And I think that's a very unique value that young people should have. That competitiveness and never ever give up. And you make a mistake today, tomorrow you get up and you try again. I think sport will help to build our country, and this is really for young people. And I strongly believe, because our population is 60% below 35, there's still a lot of young people in this particular space for sport. And sport will give you an opportunity to market your country, market yourself, and be able to do something for yourself. I come from a sporting family, so we have used sport in life to open doors for us. And where I am today, it's because of sport. And that's because I worked very hard and I made sure that through sport, I have to succeed. So I think the young people who are here today is embrace sport, work hard, and ensure that you play fairly. You lose today, but tomorrow for sure you'll win.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you very much on that. And just to get to the best understanding of what Mr. William has said, I'll go to Mr. Ambrose Otim. Being the International Olympic Committee young leader and also being a beneficiary of the Game Connect, I know there is someone out there who could be saying, now Otim is maybe the fourth cousin to the president's daughter of Uganda. Some people, you know, there's a lot of Gambanogo business in our country where people think to reach the top, you need to know someone who knows someone who also knows someone. But now, in your own perspective, we want to know, how did you join Game Connect? And how has Game Connect been of benefit to you? And how has it got you this far?
Thank you very much, Mr. Emma. First of all, I would like to give a little bit more of an introduction for myself.
Beautiful.
My name is Otim Ambrose. I'm an IOC young leader, once a participant of the Game Connect project and a beneficiary of this wonderful program. I'm so excited and delighted to be part of this wonderful summit, and also privileged and honored to share this platform with great people of integrity and honor. Back to the question. I joined the Game Connect project around 2020 during the pandemic, when life was really hitting hard on my side, struggling on my side, because I remember joining this program just after I had lost my dad. So I was actually so stressed and going through a lot as a young person. But I was approached by a friend of mine who happened to be a coach on the program, introduced everything to me and enrolled me together with my fellow peers, understanding that we were joining something that was involving sports, and it was easy for us because we were footballers. I started finding interest in the program, taking part in the activities, because it was just more than what we thought. It was more than just sports, more so with the life skills sessions that we were involved in, together with the games that together with the modified games that we were taken through. We got to learn very many things as young people. We got to work as a team. We got to be part of something that was much more productive, something that brought us together. And I remember some of the life skill sessions that stood out best for me were self-confidence, self-awareness, and also citizenship and accountability. These lessons really worked out for me, because I remember joining this program, a very young person who did not even have the zeal to freely express myself in front of others. But some of these sessions sort of groomed me, helped me build on my confidence as a person. I learned to freely stand in front of others, express myself, and all through the power of sports. And with time, I started finding interest in leading sessions, you know, and with the guidance from my coaches, and that's how I started being groomed to be a peer leader under this program, now from participant to peer leader, taking responsibility, helping here and there with the sessions, and with very many programs that came along with this project. I also participated in coaching programs, coaching trainings that were under this program, and at some point I was also made a coach under this program after all the experience that I had now gained as a person. And
that's nice.
I actually got my first paying job as a coach with the Game Connect project.
Oh, beautiful.
It did not end at that.
So you
Other
have
doors
money.
continued to open. Here came a very vast opportunity where we had an opportunity to represent Uganda. I had an opportunity as a young leader together with 7 others from different settlements under this very Game Connect program to represent Uganda at the Festival 24 event and also at the Homeless World Cup in South Korea. That was in 2024. All these opportunities happened in the same year. These travels were really an eye-opener to us because they were fully supported and fully funded by the Game Connect project. I mean, who would come out of the blue and pick you out of a settlement, pick a refugee out of a settlement, pick any other person out of the settlement without even a single coin you've injected in, and then putting you on a plane and taking you to France just like that? I mean, you can see how powerful the project has been to us. You can see the memories they have put into us.
True.
These are memories that will forever stay. While we're out there, that's when we realize we are actually enjoying the benefits of the Game Connect project. We're actually enjoying the fruits of this wonderful project. We go to socialize, we go to witness firsthand the Olympic values of friendship, excellence, and respect. We got to connect with very many people. We told the world our story, understood how different sport for development organizations from different countries were working, what issues they were addressing, and it really never left us the same. And trust me, when we came back here to Uganda, there was change in mindset, change in attitude. You felt you are supposed to be now part of something. And another opportunity also came within the same year where the IOC was calling for applications for a new cohort of young leaders. I gave it a shot, but with less hopes that I would make it because we were very many that applied for this program, and I was like, how would I outcompete very many wise people out there, and they need 25 of us from the whole world. But my lived experience and being a participant under this program truly backed up my application together with the travel experience. And I would like to say the Olympic Refuge Foundation, together with the Game Connect team, fully backed up my selection as an IOC young leader because I was part of their program, so it was easy for me to be selected as part of the 25 IOC young leaders. Currently, I have founded a project called Play Pure that is aimed at using sports to address mental health issues as a result of drugs and substance use among the youth in my community.
Oh, beautiful. That is nice. That is nice.
I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the Game Connect project, and thank you very much.
Oh, that is beautiful. Please, another round of applause on that. Why am I saying it? He's the only young person with us up here, but my brother, you have traveled more countries than the ones watching you. There are some of us who could be in the room. What they know is the link bus, coach, baby coach, and all that. And for the young people, where you've said you've traveled to the different countries, it is just a clear show that while they are catching feelings, you are catching flights. And that is something that is very good. And you've also taken better to give us how you've started an application, or is it a project or?
Project.
It's a project.
Yes.
And do you mind giving us a perspective as a beneficiary of Game Connect and also an IOC young leader? How are you using that experience to be able to help maybe the refugees and also the youth who are being affected to be able to deal with mental health challenges and find good well-being?
Thank you very much for that question. At the time when I was a participant and peer leader under the Game Connect project, all I knew was using sports to engage young people into a session, just like I used to see my coaches do. But with my role as an IOC young leader, my approach is a little bit more different. I'm using sports to create more safe and inclusive environments where young people can freely interact with each other, can really be connected, and can feel emotionally supported. More so with the refugees and the other marginalized youth in our communities. You would say how I'm trying to integrate in a little bit more of dialogue and reflection just beyond running the physical activity. Because we realize fine, sports brings people together, but we don't know what other challenges these young people are going through, what is leading them into stress, what is leading them into trauma, what is leading them into depression. I've sort of created more of like an online and a physical space where we come together and continue to share these much deeper challenges that we are going through as young people, share the problems that are leading us into stress, how can we help here and there. And trust me, it has worked out because we have sort of created an environment where young people trust each other, they feel much more connected, they have people they can run to.
Oh, beautiful.
And it has really helped. And where we feel we can't help anymore, we've tried to engage the necessary stakeholders. We've engaged parents where necessary. We've engaged local leaders. We've recommended where necessary, where we can't help as people, as young people. And it has really worked out because we realized most of the issues, more so with the project that I'm working on, that is addressing drugs and substance abuse among the youth. It is stereotyped that it is hard to deal with addicts, you know. It's hard to deal with people who are working with drugs. But we've sort of created that space where they can trust each other. We come together, share these problems, and we've sort of we've created that unity, you know, that space where we freely interact and share these ideas. And trust me, we've come up with also best possible solutions of how we can mitigate some of the challenges they are going through. We've recommended where necessary. We've brought in health experts to help us where necessary, mental health experts to help us on this issue, and that is something I've been actually doing differently, just besides using sports.
Okay.
And that is something I've been actually doing differently.
And that is beautiful. So with that, I want like in either 2 or 3 ways, I want you to, what advice can you give to the young people on how best they can put to use all that you see in place, what you benefited from and what you have created? How can they tap into it to be able to benefit from it and also make an improvement in their lives?
The advice that I would give to any young person out there, or any change makers, or anyone who would be wanting to create an impact in their society or community is, let's learn to channel our time and energy into something productive. We are still young and we have a lot ahead of us. Out of the very many challenges that you see in your community, you can identify 1, 2, 3. We have issues of poverty. We have issues of violence against children and girls. We have early marriages. We have sexual violence. We have sexual harassment. These are some of the challenges that are leading us young people into stress. You can identify 1 or 2. You don't necessarily need to be a team of 5, 10. You can start with 2, 3, 4 people. Be committed, be passionate. Try to integrate in a little bit more of sports, because we've now understood how powerful sports can address very many issues. It can inspire hope, can be used to educate very many people. You just don't know the lives you'll be tapping into. You don't know the people you'll be helping out there. You don't know the people who will feel attached by your initiative. It does not necessarily need to be a project or something big. It can be a youth-led initiative, and trust me, you'll always be remembered for that small impact that you created in your community. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. And that's an advice from a fellow youth. Usually they take it to be gospel truth, unlike from us. You know, when we are giving advice to these young ones, they say, that was your time. I hope they are not going to say this is just also your extra time. I hope they can be able to pick up on that. Just to get to an understanding, how many of us are parents here? Parents in the room? By show of hands, whether an uncle, auntie, senga, you were parent, by show of hands, unless when your whole family were the one alive. Okay. Now, you have noticed on multiple cases, our children at school, they are faced with very many things that affect them, but most of these come from home. But others are marginalized while at school. And with that, I want to request my senior in the Ministry of Education and Sports. Do you kindly just paint for us a picture of how would you describe the current state of mental health for the learners in schools within Uganda and universities?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Rebecca. I work with the Ministry of Education and Sports in the Department of Guidance and Counseling. First of all, I would like to thank Game Connect for organizing this and giving us an opportunity as a sector to be here. I would describe the status of mental health as increasingly complex and demanding immediate attention. We are observing a rise in psychosocial challenges amongst our learners, driven by very many factors, intersecting factors. Dr. Afsa talked about poverty, instability in homes, academic pressure. All these ones are affecting the mental health of our learners. And we see them manifesting in form of anxiety, depression, suicidal ideations, and suicide itself. Recently, we've had cases of learners committing suicide, but not only learners, but also teachers. So it's unfortunate that we expect the teachers to provide support to our learners, but they also have issues. So as a sector, we're not only emphasizing mental health of learners, but the whole school community. However, despite the increasing need, the sector has come up with something to see that we tackle this challenge. So I would say the status is not all that good, but it's not like we are doing nothing.
Okay.
We are doing something to see that at least we balance up things. Yeah, that's what I can say.
And while we are balancing up things, and I just want us to have a picture of what are some of those, when we talk about mental health, it's broad, but with the research you've made from the different schools, what are those most pressing needs that students present, and how are they coming up to be the hindrances to learning and well-being in school?
One of them is anxiety, as a result of too much pressure from parents and the school. We expect them to perform like academic excellence, yet even we ourselves didn't perform like we want them to perform. Recently I was in one of the meetings and I was telling in a certain one of the big schools, and I was telling them we were pumping our learners like hell. How many of us got here 25 points? How many of us got 24 points? And we somewhere, because we are looking at academic excellency at the expense of the mental health of our children, which is not right. So I'm talking about anxiety because of the too much pressure, but also depression. Learners are depressed. They do not sleep because of too much learning.
They wake up at 3 a.m.
They wake up at 3 a.m. and they sleep at past midnight, all in the name of grades, which is not right, and this is affecting their mental health. And learners are actually starting to act out, like some of them are becoming wild. Why? Because they are not okay mentally.
True.
And we are saying that they are stubborn, they are unruly, but we don't look into this. How much rest do they get? Yes, please.
And I like the fact that you brought out those pertinent issues. I want to, based on that, to challenge the audience with us here today. I saw very many parents put up their hands, but I want to ask you a question. Are you demanding results from your child under a mentally stable schedule, or you are putting people and your child under pressure to meet the things you did not achieve? Number two, I want to ask the audience, are you sure the standard under which your child is studying, the school is meeting the national standards? Because that is going to take me to the question where I would want to request Madam Rebecca, what are some of the existing strategies or policies that Ministry of Health has put up to be able to put a balance to these things and the pressures you've mentioned about, and how are they being of effective to the learners and supporting their well-being?
At sector level, policy level, the policies are there. They are well established. But now when it comes to their effectiveness in our institutions of learning, there is a lot of variability. To start with, we came up with a mental health circular. We call Circular 20. And this circular is tasking institutions of learning to make sure that at least every week there is this one mental health hour in every institution. And in this one mental health hour, we make sure that it's not only for the learners but also the staff. What they do there should be in relation to mental health. It's good that Game Connect is using sports. They can use sports.
Oh, beautiful.
They can do drama. They can do whatever helps them to improve their mental health.
Okay.
Some schools are picking it on. Others are still saying we don't have time for that. Because they want to use all the time to teach. Recently, we came up with national guidelines. We call them the National Mental Health and Psychosocial Support Guidelines. I came with a copy, but I left it there at the table. Maybe I will pick it and show the audience. And we also came up with a Mental Health and Psychosocial Training Manual for learning institutions. We came up with readers for learners. These ones are printed and they can be accessed on our website. Mental health readers for primary and secondary. But also we have a teacher's handbook, teacher's mental health handbook. This handbook helps teachers to understand what mental health is, to support themselves as colleagues, but also to be able to support the learners.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, I also have a copy there. I moved with one. And it is good that this time we've been able to integrate or smuggle mental health and psychosocial well-being into our coming strategic plan for the sector. At least it is stipulated there. That's the strategic plan from 2026 to 2030. Mental health and psychosocial well-being is stipulated there well. Before it was not, in the last one, it was not very clear, but this time it is very clear. And we hope to get a bigger budget because it is included there.
That is beautiful. And with all those that are put in place, what support does ministry need to be able to strengthen them in the different environments?
First of all, like I've said, when it comes to mental health, it's not a one-man show. Everyone has a role to play. Yes. First of all, we need to disseminate the materials we've developed, not distributing them, but disseminate, so that, for example, the teachers can be able to use these guidelines. For those people who go out in the schools, like Game Connect, are able to use our guidelines to support the schools, the whole school community, not only the learners, but also the parents need to come on board. Because in most cases, they say, Ministry of Education, what have you done for like learners who go at school at 4, like the vans, they are moved around, they are picked at 4 and then they reach school at 8. Yeah, and they are saying, Minister of Education, what have you done about school vans? And I also ask them, where do these children come from? Where do you give your child away at 4:30, at 5? You let your child sleep up to around 6:30 or 7, then you take them to school.
True.
So parents are also ignoring their responsibilities. So what I'm saying is we need support. We need to disseminate the materials we've developed, because where we are now, at least now we have the material, we have the knowledge, but we need to sensitize the community more. We need to sensitize the parents, we need to sensitize the schools, the administrators, and everyone.
Beautiful. Hand clap for Ministry of Education. No, that hand clap is mine. A hand clap for Ministry of Education. Did you know that clapping is a sport as well? Because every time you clap, there is energy into your body. But I will go with the one of His Excellency most of the times, for those who have been to Chankwazi. So let us give a hand clap to Ministry of Health. Asante sana. Yongeza tena. Yes. Why am I saying that? With the different challenges that we've realized in the different sectors in school, there are very many guidelines and policies that have been brought on board in school setting. She has mentioned over 4 documents, and I'll request anytime you get, visit the website of Ministry of Education to pick some of these documentation that you can also be acquainted with this. And with all that also in operation, we have realized that there are policies and frameworks that we need to be able to run this work, and the mental health docket fully falls under Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, in the Division of Mental Health and Control of Substance Use. So I would like to ask Dr. Hafsa, what are the national policies or frameworks that are put in place to address the youth mental health challenges, and where do you see the gaps that need urgent attention?
Okay, thank you very much, Emmanuel. Once again, colleagues, I hope we are still awake and well and alert. Yes, great. For the young people, are you there? Hey, they're going to ask you for the policies or laws that are in place that are helping young people. They are there. Our biggest trouble is we have not disseminated them, I think, well enough. So I imagine some of you may not have heard about them, but they are there. We have the Mental Health Act of 2019. This one puts in place, it helps us to treat people with the different mental disorders. It helps us to know how to take in people. You should not fear. If someone has a problem, you can take them in. I mean, you can help them get care, either involuntarily or voluntarily or assisted delivery. So there are these forms of treatments. I mean, there are different forms in which people can get care. And we do not wait for people to kill themselves or to kill others. We should be purposeful as members of community to be able to, to help people who are having mental illnesses. So the Mental Health Act really puts this very well. And it also guides the health workers on how to treat people. How do we admit? How do we, discharge? Because some people want to be discharged after 2 days and say, I want to go home, especially those on addiction, and say, I want to go home. I've been denied my, whatever they are taking. So there are all these guidelines. So this Mental Health Act actually is giving guidelines on how to, support people with mental illnesses within our health facilities, but also within communities. We are charging the families, but also the CHUs, the community health extension workers, to be able to follow up on people with mental illnesses, to ensure that people are getting their medication, to even look out for those predictors or things that will lead into mental illness. But because once there's violence, once people are using drugs or whatever, those things that, are determinants of and cause mental illness. So these are things that we're asking the CHUs or the VHTs, the village health teams, to be able to support with. Then the other one, we have a very special document, very special for young people. It's called the Child and Adolescent Mental Health Guidelines. These are helping healthcare workers, again, to be able to identify the different conditions amongst young people. But it's also supporting teachers or whoever is taking care of young people. Because we have the signs and symptoms, we tell them what they need to do. Because there are certain, for the young people, we do not give them medicine when they first have a mental illness. Medicine is not the first line of choice. It is psychosocial support. I mean, it is, counseling, talking to them, and so on. So we have provided for this in this document. It is there, Child and Adolescent Mental Health Guidelines. We have the It's guiding on who does what in as far as gaming and lotteries is concerned. That's a very wonderful document. It gives penalty, good for your brains, for your developing brains. And then we have the alcohol control policy. We failed to get the bill, but we had wanted to control alcohol use. And I know most of you were very happy when it didn't go through because you thought we were banning bill. Reducing on the times of hours when people are supposed to be in bars, reducing on the places where alcohol is sold, You can imagine after doing your games and then the next minute they are selling alcohol there. You can imagine how you've wasted Act bans.
This is a hand clap, even for the beneficiaries
Yes,
who have
in
been
Jaga,
enjoying.
that is marijuana. We are banning marijuana. We are also banning cat. Because these two are affecting young people and they're useless. There's no usefulness in at least the Mairunji. The Njaga, yes, there's some medicinal and we're allowing it to be grown for medicinal purposes only, not for recreation. We have banned it for use for recreation. So just to let you know, those of you who are here, I am disseminating some of these things. So what are the gaps? The gaps are quite many. The enforcement is one of it. But enforcement is one of it. Then the data, we are not doing surveillance. There's quite a lot. Whatever I've said is banned is actually happening, so we've not done a lot of surveillance. But also, I think the awareness, many people lack the awareness. We need to do a lot of creating awareness, especially among young people. Please be our ambassadors. When it comes to drugs, they affect your brains negatively. You will not achieve. You will not achieve your goals, colleagues, when you're using drugs, especially the young people who are here. Even the elderly, even those of you who are older, like my age, you will not achieve. You'll even grow old and become so poor and very weary, very weak, and you won't be supported by your children. And what we are calling upon the government and our colleagues to do is the integration. We need to integrate mental health across the board, across all government departments, across we need to mainstream. I don't know which word to use because there are different words. There's mainstreaming, using it as it's a cross-cutting issue, integration. We need to put mental health in each and every area or developmental area that there is in this country. Without doing that, even if you did your sports without minding about your mental health, you will not do very well. Even if you're given intandikwa and your mental health is so poor and you take that alcohol or marijuana or whatever you're taking, you will not achieve your goals towards that developmental support that you've been given. So we are saying let's mainstream. And my last thing is, and it's good that these young people are already converted, but I keep telling my children, and I think the media maybe will help. My message is, luck will not find you in your bed. You've heard the young man there telling us how he went onto the field, how he participated. He purposed to do something out of the ordinary. And that's how he got lucky to be taken and identified. So for those of you, the young people who are out there, sleeping as your hobby, because they proudly say, my hobby is sleeping. Hey, luck will not find you there. So, and it's part of your mental health. Oversleeping is terrible. You're supposed to sleep up to some point and then work. So luck will not find you in your bed. Please wake up and purpose to do something productive for your life. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Doctor. And that reminds me of a Bible saying that goes, he who loves to sleep and the fold of hands, poverty shall fall upon him like a thief in the night. So sleepers, congratulations, you are soon joining the team of poverty. So we're going to do something short. I request us to put our hands just at your face, in front of your face. Now we are going to do something. When I say ba, you clap once. When I say badu, you clap twice. When I say badu badu, you clap 1, 2, 3, 4. You get?
Okay.
Ba is 1. Badu is 1, 2. Then badu badu is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I will interchange the command. But however, you have to do what the command says, okay? All right. So, ba, badu, badu badu, badu, hey, ba, badu badu, badu, ba, badu badu, ba, badu, badu badu. Okay, thank you. I think now I am doing sport, Doctor. Okay. Now, there are very many people we have with us here today, other mental health officials and other organizations that support the Ministry of Health in working through all the mental health perspectives. So I want you to guide them on how can they integrate mental health programs and support into the support for development in a way that both are sustainable and culturally responsive. I'll give a case in point. There are some regions you realize here in Uganda that will say, girls are not supposed to do this, or boys are supposed to be rearing cattle, they're not supposed to be part of that. How can they be supported to integrate that within?
All right. So when you begin from the point of sustainable, I think it's important to remind us all, just picking up from what Doctor says, that any of us, 25% of us in this room, could have a mental illness of some kind, which could escalate. Most times it will not, because of the quality of the relationships you have or the things you're doing. Should you become very unwell, I think Lydia was presenting here something like 3% that are severe. Lydia presented 28,000 youth who were assessed. 96% had to be enrolled. They had symptoms of depression and anxiety. They literally enrolled everybody. If we took this room and you are all the youth that were assessed, only Peter Galiwa, who is seated there, would walk out. The rest of us would have to be enrolled. In short, this is a displacement context. I'm giving you one example of one person, or maybe William Blick, because he's a sports guy. He's healthy, he looks good, he eats well, he probably will walk out. But the rest of us might have to be enrolled. What I'm saying is that the situation is serious. So while she was talking about the school and she was talking about the Ministry of Health, you probably know Butabika Hospital. And when you hear Butabika Hospital, it doesn't sound very good, because you feel like, what will happen if I go there? There are a few other facilities that you can go to if you have a bit of money. It will not cost you less than 2 million for 1 month in one of those facilities, and you need to be there for at least 3 months before you're discharged. The cost of care is very high. You're going to, if you see me in a private facility, and I'm talking, but John is not hearing, my boss. If you see me in a private facility, I'm going to charge you 100,000 to 150,000 just to talk to you for an hour. And then hopefully after 8 sessions, you'll be better. That is how costly it is. And if you have to buy medicine, it's going to be worse. So this is, when you talk about health, like organizations, what can they do? My goodness, there's a lot of people that need help. The beautiful thing is that there's a lot, I think even listening to the team here, that you can do that doesn't cost that much. For 96% to be enrolled in Game Connect, when you could do psychosocial, you just made us clap, you made us dance. Those kinds of things make you happy, they make you feel different. Every organization, starting with itself, I don't think you should enroll a single individual youth in your program if your staff are sick. So start by understanding how your staff are doing. Are they sleeping 8 hours? Are they exercising at least 5 times a week? Are they eating a healthy diet? Okay? Give them a bit of stress. Stress is good. Just a bit, not too much. Because when you have a challenge, then you can build resilience. But if you give them overwhelming stress, so once your staff population is healthy, step 2. Now you have the opportunity to look into various things. I already told you that most of the sport activities that are available in your vicinity that you like will be very helpful. But we've just talked about the Game Connect manual. Lydia was talking about it here in the morning. There is already a very well-designed curriculum. It lasts 3 months. It's a session that I will engage you for about 2 hours, once a week, for 3 months, and you will not be depressed or anxious by the time we finish that conversation. The Game Connect team asked, I think, last phase, for organizations that were interested in scaling you can't scale it up. Like a little bit. Can we train your coaches? Can you bring staff? And they couldn't. Only one organization took up the scale option. Now you're in this room, you're an organization. Look for Lydia, because you have an opportunity. I think the Game Connect team is so happy to share the manual, to share the materials, to take you through a training, to help you scale. They are so interested that they are actually now talking to NCDC. Lydia was talking about the review of the curriculum. The curriculum will be integrated into the primary school mental health work for play. If it's integrated, then the teachers are teaching it. Then you probably won't need to get to the point where they are worried about the school interventions, because things will be done in the daily curriculum. So take advantage of the opportunities around you. There is this Game Connect curriculum. Scan, go back there on the back end, ask questions, and find ways in which you can collaborate and take this forward. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Doctor, on that. And that takes me to Mr. William. Most importantly, we are looking at building the peace between communities, the youth, and how they can be able to support their well-being in mental health. And peace building through sport often requires sustained effort. So how can the Olympic movement and the partners ensure that sport-based interventions go beyond symbolic events to creating lasting impact? Because we would not want this only to end with Game Connect. How can we be able to work it throughout to become scalable?
Thank you. I think you've answered my question, and it's Game Connect. I fought to bring a project to Uganda with an intention to create a lot of impact and positive impact. What we've done with Game Connect for the Olympic movement is a very good example of how money can be put to good use and affect the lives of people who are not necessarily engaged in elite sport. And I think when we talk of sport, there is elite and there's community sport, which is sport for all. And what we've been able to show with this particular project is that sport can be able to work with other sectors and be able to achieve the goals which are in Uganda's national development plans. So I think what we've managed to do here is create a formula which wasn't really there, and be able to show that when you invest money wisely, because when we talk of sport, everyone thinks of Olympic Games or whatever it is. For me, this is impactful work and work that should be done across the board. We've been able to exemplify this. I hope we can engage government of Uganda to see how we can fund more of these projects, and also go to corporate sponsors and say, look, if you want to make a positive impact in society, this is a working formula that we're able to use. So I think the next step here would be, how do we engage government? How do we engage corporate sponsors for corporate social responsibility initiatives to ensure that such programs are given not just to people who are displaced or who are in refugee settlements, but across the country, because the benefits are there. Mental health is a silent killer, and it affects everyone. It's just the degree that would separate us. But if government is doing its role to have legislation, then I think we can also use sport to help bring these things to light. And I think that's what sport has been able to do in this particular space.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you very much. And to Mr. Ambrose, having been part of this project and having been a beneficiary, if you had a chance to maybe change something, or what would you propose that would change within the program, and what would you add, and how do you think Game Connect can help more people?
Thank you very much. Most of the things have been said, but with the experience I've had with this program, I feel something has been a little bit lacking in all the things we've been talking about. Something I would want to maybe recommend or talk about, or I would want to see changes. We've engaged the participants, we've engaged schools, we've engaged teachers, we've engaged with health institutions, but at some point I feel we left out the parents in this. We spend most of the times having sessions with these children, having sessions with these young people, not realizing that at the end of the day, some of the issues they are battling with actually come from home. They spend most of the time with their families more. At some point you feel that it's the participant that is responsible for the mental health well-being of their parents too. How about if we also engage the parents once in a while into mental health sessions, maybe speak to them, talk to them. I think we will be shooting two birds with one stone here. We are tapping into the parental side and then into the participant side, so they will all be devoted to each other's well-being. Then something else was about integrating more of the Game Connect, or integrating more of sport for mental health sessions in schools, but I think it has been said. But I would like to emphasize more on this because it looks like a very big issue. Recently, we all heard of a case of a student of Mengo SS who actually committed suicide because maybe she did not perform to the expectations of her parents, and at the time where she actually needed the support is the time where she was actually abandoned, maybe felt isolated. She felt she had no options, no one to run to, no one said it is okay. And sometimes I feel we also contribute, we as parents also contribute to stress our children. And imagine losing a life of your own child just because of results. Who would want to lose life because of results? Not all of us were perfect at some point. I was not also a good performer at school. But how about if we could also engage settings in schools with, okay, it is in process, but how about if we emphasize it more and engage also students into mental health sessions, integrating more of the project into the school curriculum and making sure it works out, because I believe some of these students also need the services. Then my last point is one thing that I would want to see the Game Connect project too. I don't know if there would be further chance for extension, but we pray, we hope so, and we hope it works out. I want us to continue to be great ambassadors and continue to say wonderful things about this project. I would like the Game Connect team to sort of create a platform or a community where we can continue to share as young people, where we continue to talk about mental health as young people, where we can continue to address very many issues as young people. I think that is what I would want to see change. Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Thank you, and thank you very much. And lastly, Ms. Rebecca, you mentioned the teachers and the parents while you were giving your submissions. And how can teachers and parents play in identifying? Now we have seen the parents being a problem, but how can they help in identifying and supporting students with mental health challenges? And in that way, while you are giving us that, you'll in also 30 seconds after your submission, you give your parting shots, and then we come to the last things.
Thank you very much. Like I've said earlier, most of the time learners are at school. Yeah, they are with the teachers. So I would say that teachers and our parents play a critical and complementary role in supporting the mental health of the learners. Why? With the medics, they have what they call first line treatment. When learners at school, in most cases, it's the teachers to provide that. Why? Because they are the first to identify the learners with problems, maybe with mental health challenges. They see them withdrawing, maybe they are deteriorating in their performance, and maybe there is a lot of emotional distress. And in my thinking, actually we are trying to work on it to build the capacity of the teachers to be able to see these warning signs. For example, you have this learner, they were performing before well, and now they are deteriorating. That is a warning sign. They are harsh, they are aggressive. So when we build the capacity of the teachers, they are able to support the learners. We've tried it in some schools, regionally in the west, in the east, in the central, and in the north. But of course, we are constrained in a few schools. When it comes to parents, like my son here has said, most of the issues are coming from home. The parents need to provide that emotional environment, which is, that environment which is supporting. When you fight with your husband or your wife when their children are seeing, that is already a stress. They will not concentrate in class. Domestic violence at home, that is also another challenge. Like I said, we need to involve the parents. We may be handling the learners at school, but like I said, Game Connect has been missing out that. But thank you very much for the work you are doing. In your own capacity, we can still include the parents to see that parents are also brought on board, because they have a big role to play, and also to reduce on their expectations, because they are not also, they did, like you said, we want to see the children achieve what we are not able to achieve, and we are forcing it on them. When you are so stressed, you don't have money, you transfer your anger and whatever to the children, which is not right. So we should also talk to the parents to see that they lower their expectations.
Okay.
Yeah. In conclusion, this is what I'm going to say. That mental health is key. There is no health without mental health. And there is no academic excellence without mental health. We cannot develop without mental health. We've kept on ignoring it because it is not easily seen, because we may not know when I'm troubled and I've just kept quiet. But it is high time we also prioritize it. And as an education, I'm saying we should not prioritize academic excellency at the expense of mental health. We are emphasizing this. However much we need to grace, we will end up having many learners committing suicide because they've not been able to get the points they need. But also we need to support each other. We have to look out for each other, because no one is immune when it comes to mental health. Even here, I know people are stressed and they are struggling, and you may be, actually it is easy to fake that you are okay instead of faking that you are not okay. So we may be smiling here, yet inside we are dying. I would say to all of us, please share when you have issues and seek help. God bless you.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Yes, Mr. Kelo. We are all giving our parting shots, and then we close off in just 30 seconds.
Okay, thank you very much. I would just want to extend my gratitude to the Game Connect project for giving me such a wonderful opportunity. As a young person, many would be out there asking, why is it's only him? We've been very many people that have been supported by this wonderful project, but it's only that I'm one that has gotten the chance to be in front here. So I'm a voice to very many who have not made it here and who are doing well just because of the wonderful things of this project. I would like to also encourage the young people out there that let's not be discouraged. Let's continue to work hard. Let's continue to be passionate about the things that we are doing. You just never know what tomorrow may bring. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you as well. Yes, Mr. William.
Mine to the young people is look after yourself. Pay attention to yourself and make sure you are able to communicate what's going on inside you. To the Game Connect lead, AFSI, thank you very much. I think it has been a job very well done. Can we give AFSI very loud round of applause? Right to play. UNHCR, Government of Uganda, Olympic Refuge Foundation, and the Uganda Olympic Committee. I think this project has become a game changer. I hope we can build on this with government of Uganda and the corporate sector to ensure that they put money where it has a lot of impact. And I think with the studies that we have and the ongoing conclusions of this project, after 6 years, we can make a very good case that this is really something that can change the lives and also contribute to our national development plan. So I'm very happy to be here, and I couldn't have wished for anything to have been done differently. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. William. Dr. Rita?
Yeah, I wanted to thank William sincerely because of what he did, because I think that we're all here because of this beginning that William made. I think we are around this conversation, we are talking, there is a Ministry of Health, but I think we really need to thank William for starting this up at the beginning, and of course the Olympic Refuge Foundation. Now, if I have to say a few parting words for you as an individual, a Ugandan or wherever you come from, but you're human and you're seated in this room, do 3 things. Sleep at least 8 hours, eat a healthy diet. Healthy, you can talk to the nutritionists, okay? A healthy diet. Exercise or do some form of sport that you love for at least 25 minutes. Don't do 26, it's useless. The extra minute is not helpful. Just do 25 minutes for your mental health. If you want to have a good body, do more. Now that you need to talk to somebody else. But for the sake of your mental health, just do 25 minutes, at least 5 times a week. Now that's for you as a person, okay? And you should be very well. Lastly, for you as a person, have a good quality relationship. Don't make too many friends. This is also helpful for young people. Too many friends won't help you. Have a very good quality relationship with a few people, somebody who has your back. Because I think the longest studies that have been done show that if you really have a good quality relationship, you're going to be happy. And the longest studies are on that, beyond anything. If, for example, you're in a problematic marriage, leave it. Okay?
Amen. Because
you'd rather be in a healthy, quality relationship. Being there for the sake of your children will kill you, ultimately. So be happy in a small circle of a good quality relationships. That's personal. For the sake of anybody here from government, from private sector, from the NGOs, please invest. You have a very low-cost model in front of you. I think you can scale it up. The Game Connect team is super happy to help you scale it up. It's going to schools, so why not go in before it goes into schools? It's going all over the place. And use it. It's mixed sport, meaning you will enjoy it. You could dance, you could play a little bit of jump. It's a very beautiful curriculum. Take advantage of it, please, and scale the approach. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And lastly, Dr. Hafsa.
Yes, thank you very much, colleagues. My parting shots, I think I'd already given, but just to add, and I'm going to copy the young man's word, it's dialogue and reflection during sports. That's what will improve your mental health. So purpose to add a mental health aspect to your sports. Think about what you're doing, think about why you're doing it, and and enjoy the breath and everything that comes out of the sports or the exercise that you're doing. That will be very important. And then lastly, just to let you know, we have a mental health run in October during the Mental Health Day celebrations. So I'm calling upon all of you to participate in this. We may not pay money, but we may also pay, I don't know, for the for the jazzes and so on. So I'm kindly calling upon all of you. When it comes to November, you're going to be hearing the adverts and everything. I want you to be part of the run. You're running for our mental health this year. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Doctor. A round of applause to all our panelists today. And I believe they have had resourceful submissions. I'm going to request them to just stand up and move a little bit. Cameraman, you come closer, please. Please, let's clap for them as they leave. DJ, we are back in business. The gentleman refused to dance, but it is okay. We don't want to affect anyone's mental well-being today. Let us all just enjoy the music. Whatever you have, just throw in. As the Kampala performance team, you get ready. In just a few minutes, you're coming in next. I want to request that team kindly help me with the podium. Kampala team, please prepare. Those ones who are seated, you can just stand and just shake a little. Or you can shake your head, your hands, for as long as you're moving something. Or you can tap your leg down. Just move. Sport for mental health. I like those ones dancing. You learned the assignment alone. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay. Hello? All right. So now, allow me take this singular honor to invite our next speaker. All right, so we have an honor to have multiple dignitaries with us here today, and they will be speaking to us until the end of the day. Please prepare yourself. We have a performance coming in next, and kindly, please, when they come in to dance, you could join in case you find yourself energized for it. So let's join our hands to welcome the Commissioner for Refugees on the Office of the Prime Minister, Mr. Okello. You are welcome to address the community. Please, ladies and gentlemen, that is my hand clap, and I have not yet asked for it. I want one for the Commissioner. Thank you very much. You're welcome, sir, to address us.
The Director of Ceremonies, thank you. The Country Director, Avis Foundation, senior government officials in your respective capacities, the management of Game Connect, the organizers of this very magnificent event, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's very difficult to address an empty hall, especially when all members are broken for lunch. But I will attempt to do so. Good afternoon. It's a great pleasure to meet familiar faces and to see new ones. Allow me first of all to extend my sincere appreciation to the management of Avis Foundation for the invitation to be part of this magnificent summit. On behalf of the Office of the Prime Minister and on my own behalf, I'm honored to join you at the Game Connect Summit, marking not only a celebration of impact, but also a reflection on what meaningful partnership can achieve in the lives of young people. Today is a very significant day and a milestone in my life, because since assuming office, this is the first summit organized by you that I am attending. I would like to state that Uganda continues to stand as a global example in refugee protection, guided by a progressive, rights-based approach that promotes inclusion, dignity, and self-reliance. Through this approach, we recognize that host communities, refugees, and the rest of the citizens are not just beneficiaries of gaming and sporting, but also contributors to our shared vision of staying healthy. Ladies and gentlemen, Uganda today is recording an increased number of deaths arising out of non-communicable diseases. And this can be attributed to idleness in our bodies, occasioned by non-participation in sporting activities. We are seeing much more cases of hypertension that could have been averted. We're seeing more death related to pulmonary embolism and myocardial infarction, all this stemming from careless lifestyles. Sporting activities are very critical in cushioning us against some of the infections that would have not been subjected to. I must say that we are all aware that the significant population of this country, including refugees, is made up mainly of young people who constitute more than 60% of the population, and most of them are youth and children. This should be kept very healthy and strong if we are to see the next generation. This reality calls on all of us to be intentional on how we invest in them. Beyond access to basic services, young people need opportunities to build life skills, strengthen resilience, and nurture their mental well-being. These are not optional investments. They are essential for building peaceful, productive, and cohesive societies. I come from a family where I am a head. I am naturally somebody who fears water. But I want to tell you that one of the best swimmers this country has ever produced is my daughter. But because we don't take swimming very seriously here, because the talent was not nurtured through such programs, other people snatched her. She's one of the most outstanding black swimmers in Germany. You can imagine how we lose talents. So it's very imperative that all of us jointly, regardless of where we work for and where we are best, we should nurture talent, because talent is the easiest alternative to livelihoods. Every day I wake up, I see my implementing partners, I see my staff growing in volume and weight because of eating junk food. And I'm told that you young people today, the in thing is Javas, KFC. Those are silent killers. The best diet for you should be sports, and to eat natural food. In this regard, I would like to say that we commend once again the work of AVC Foundation and its partner through the Game Connect initiative. The innovative use of sport as a tool for development is both timely and impactful. Sport goes beyond recreation. It creates safe spaces for healing, encourages emotional expression, and builds critical skills such as teamwork, leadership, and conflict resolution. We are particularly encouraged by the integration of mental health and psychosocial support within these activities. In contexts where young people have experienced displacement, loss, and uncertainty, such approaches are critical in restoring hope and strengthening their capacity to cope and strive. Equally important is the emphasis on bringing together all members of society. And in our case, being the largest refugee host country in Africa, our response is anchored on inclusion rather than seclusion, and programs like Game Connect, which demonstrate how shared experiences can foster understanding, reduce tension, and strengthen social cohesion. As government, we value partnerships that align with the national priorities and complement our coordination efforts. We therefore encourage all actors to continue working closely with the Office of the Prime Minister to ensure that interventions are well coordinated, evidence-based, and sustainable. Looking ahead, we call upon all of you, partners and donors, children and parents, the youth and the old, to invest in scalable and cost-effective models such as Game Connect. There is clear need to expand such initiatives to reach more young people across the settlements and urban areas, while also strengthening the capacity of local institutions to support these efforts. In conclusion, let me reaffirm that when we invest in the well-being and the potential of young people, we are investing in the stability and the prosperity of our nation. Once again, I want to thank the management of Game Connect. I want to thank the funders. I want to thank most sincerely and from the bottom of my heart the country director, Avis, and his team for making this event possible. And I want to thank all of you for honoring the invitation and for your active participation. For the panel which was here, for the excellent level of debate, I was particularly impressed by the young man. And if I was marking him out of 10, then I would have given him 7 out of 10. His level of debate illustrates that sports builds confidence in us, sports exposes us and enables the young people to mature faster. And of course, as you also engage in sports, you become what they call the stars, isn't it? So you start walking with the swagger, isn't it? You become swaggerific, like this young man looking at me here. And you know, when you become very famous, it becomes very dangerous for you, because the little girls start crowding around you, and that's the source of danger. So I'm also telling you, look after your life so that as you engage in sports, you don't die very fast, not of food, but of also engaging in careless behaviors. So want you alive. Once again, thank you very much and have a blessed afternoon.
A round of applause for our commissioner. Thank you very much, Mr. Okello, for that wonderful message you've given unto us. Because most of the times when you hold a function and the commissioner of the ministry where you belong does not turn up, or the office where you belong, We really appreciate. So I want to request in this regard, all members from the Office of the Prime Minister, kindly stand up for recognition. All members from the Office of the Prime Minister, please stand up for recognition. And you see how we are blessed to have all these dignitaries with us here today. And when you see them around, you are also seeing Honorable Robina Nabanja around. So thank you very much for honoring our invite and being with us here today. We look forward to hearing more from you. Team Kampala, we are set and you are welcome. The stage is yours. Those who can join them to dance, please, you can come in and dance with them. And thereafter, when Team Kampala is done, we shall go in for our lunch. Please, in case you don't have a coupon, you kindly reach to the registration table. They can accord you one. And lastly, right after the Kampala performance, we shall have a group photo for all of us here. I'll request the young people, you kindly carry for me. I only need 10 seats lined up here for our guests, our chief guests and guests of honor. And then the rest of us, we shall use the platform and the sideways for the photograph. Kampala team, you're welcome.
This is Team Kampala presenting a skit on the livelihoods, experiences in the urban center. Please enjoy.
Kampala is a home to more than 587,000 young people between the ages of 18 and 30. Youth full of dreams, energy and untapped potential. Yet for many, those dreams slowly fade under the weight of poverty, social pressures and limited opportunities. Countless households live below the poverty line and the struggle for survival takes a toll on young people's mental health and well-being. My name is Gideon, and this is my story.
Bananga, how is that?
My sorrows began the day I was chased out of school for failure to pay the fees. Home offered no relief. My sister, only 16, had just given birth and the baby's cries filled the house. My mother, a refugee, already scarred by the loss of her husband and the struggle of starting over in a new city, looked at me with weary eyes and said softly,
My son, I don't have the money. I think this school thing might not work out. And even these bananas are about to get too ripe. We'll lose them. Why don't you take them to Ginger Road and sell them? Maybe you can get something out for your school fees.
So there I was, caught in the evening traffic jam, hawking on the streets. What began with sweet bananas soon turned into soda, boiled maize, toothbrushes. I sold whatever I could. Sometimes I managed to sell, sometimes I didn't. And many times I ate part of what I was supposed to sell because I knew there would be no meal waiting for me at home. The streets were crowded with vendors, each one shouting to catch the attention of the passers-by. So I shouted louder, "Bananas! Sweet bananas! Nyamo, come and buy!" But the hardest part of street life was the authorities. They appeared out of nowhere, running, chasing. You had to move quickly or risk losing everything. I would plead. Please forgive me, sir. Sebo, I'm trying to raise school. Forgive me. Don't take my things. Yet most times, it was too late. They would seize the merchandise and sometimes take you to. Whatever happened after, well... Day after day, I found myself vending on the streets, even on the rainy nights. That's how I met a gang of boys. They seemed carefree, untouched by the worries of street life. They told me there was something I could use to forget my problems. Something bitter at first, but later sweet. I called it Kawaraji. With it, I stopped thinking about school. I didn't feel the hunger anymore. It made me feel light, as though I was floating. We called it Cloud9. My new friends each had their own escape. Some smoked cigarettes, others weed. But that was too much for me. It made me cough. The more I used Kawaraji, the more I depended on it. It drowned out all the voices that mocked me for being a refugee. It numbed my anger. For a while, I felt free. Yet sometimes even my friends mocked me. Refugee. That stirred my rage and fights broke out. I fought them many times. I still carry scars from those days. The saddest part of that life was watching my old friends pass by on their way home from school. Gideon, Ngai don't come to school anymore.
Gideon, they don't come to school anymore.
I never had an answer. Then they told me about someone different, a man called Coach Didier. They said he could help me forget about my worries in a better way. His medicine wasn't Kawaraji, it was football. They said his playing field was the hospital, but deep down, I knew this wasn't the life I wanted.
Moving around the street, looking for young talent. Children come running, they say they wanna see me. I say, come on, my children, come on, sing along. Come on, we need it. Come on, we need it. Come on, we need it. Chikuve! Come on, we need it. Say what you want, my children. Say what you want. Say what you want, my children. Say what you want. You gotta tell me now what you want. We know you need us. We know it's not time. We know you need us. We know it's not time. We know you I say to you mothers, I say to you fathers, let them do what they want. Let them spread their talent.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, and no young person should have to face these struggles alone. This is a call for our families, friends, district leaders, teachers, classmates, NGOs, and the government. Together, we must stand with our youth by providing education, mentorship, and opportunities for livelihood and growth, because every young person deserves the chance to thrive and succeed.
Indeed, these are seated whereas. DJ, give them a keshongoro. Hello. First wait. DJ, give them Daily Bando as they leave the stage. On the red carpet, they are going to pass here. Daily Bando. Let us see the Kampala in them. Please, another round of applause. There's a lot of creativity here. Nya was waiting to give us for microphone. Hey, go.
This is unusual.
The driver is there. See the youthfulness, that is their time. Where were you during that time? Were you cooking or you were playing? Thank you very much. So DJ, I want to request all of us, I know after lunch, the ladies usually complain. They say after lunch, the food has taken off the makeup. So to cater for them as well, please youth, some young gentlemen and ladies, can I have 10 of you stand up? Just 10. Please. Any youth in the room? 10 of you. So kindly carry your seat and bring it in front here. Just carry your seat very fast. Very, very fast. Please, the cameraman and the camera woman, get ready. Please, let us put around here. Here. Yes, this space like this.
Maman dit que lorsqu'on cherche bien, on finit toujours par trouver. Elle dit qu'il n'est jamais très loin, qu'il part très souvent travailler. Maman dit travailler c'est bien, bien mieux qu'être mal accompagné. Pas vrai? Où est ton papa? Dis-moi où est ton papa? Sans même devoir lui parler, c'est ce qui ne va pas. Ah sacré papa, dis-moi où es-tu caché? Ça doit faire au moins 1000 fois que j'ai.
Please, I'm going to request, please kindly occupy the seats here. I'm requesting, and please, anyone, come, let us be part of the picture. You can either choose to stand behind or go up there. I'll request, sir, please take the front seats. All of us are part of the picture, I humbly request. just kindly come and occupy. We are not picking anyone in specific, but anyone who can be early around. Please, AVSI team, whoever is there for registration, please come front. All of us should be available, should be around, and will be part of this picture. You reserve for me that place. You reserve there, because usually for us we miss. So whoever comes, tell them was booked. Occupy.
Des géniteurs ou des génies, dites-nous qui donne naissance aux irresponsables. Ah, dites-nous qui. Tiens, tout le monde sait comment on fait les bébés.